Alexandra Eala draws strength from growing Filipino support in Melbourne. For Alexandra Eala, Melbourne has become more than just another stop on the professional tennis calendar. As her profile has risen, so too has the presence of Filipino supporters following her journey, a shift she has noticed clearly compared with earlier years. Speaking ahead of the Australian Open, Eala reflected on how the growing encouragement from the Filipino community in Australia has become a quiet but meaningful source of strength as she steps onto bigger stages with higher expectations. Alexandra Alex, Eala's golden campaign at the Thailand SEA Games, has propelled the young Filipina into her Australian Open 2026 main draw debut with a mix of confidence, gratitude, and rising expectations. Fresh from a busy but successful stretch that included a SEA Games singles gold and deep runs in year-end events, she arrived in Melbourne describing herself as ready for the next step in her career. In her pre-event press conference, Eala spoke openly about how she is handling her breakthrough year and the increased attention that has come with it. "I try to just take it with a spoonful of gratitude," she said. "I think not a lot of people get to experience this in their lifetime. So I'm just so grateful to be in this position and to have that support. That gratitude," she explained, translates directly to her performances. "It sure does help, when I'm out on court and people are supporting." The 20-year-old also pointed to how her recent results have sharpened her readiness for Melbourne, particularly her strong run in Auckland in the weeks leading into the Grand Slam. "Well, it was great for confidence and, to get matches and always helps before slams," Eala said. "So, yeah, I'm confident with how I'm playing, so I'm ready for anything." Despite the momentum, she stressed that the team approached the Australian Open with full seriousness. "It's a Grand Slam, so we're not looking over that fact, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm here." Her path from the Thailand SEA Games to Melbourne reflects both a packed schedule and a carefully managed progression. Eala's SEA Games gold ended a decades-long drought for the Philippines in women's singles tennis, underscoring her status as the country's new standard-bearer on the regional stage. That triumph was followed by appearances in Macau and a physically demanding match in Auckland, a sequence she described simply as a busy month, but so many blessings, knowing that there have been so many memorable moments that just make me happy to experience. A bigger Filipino presence in Melbourne. If Thailand delivered the breakthrough medal, Melbourne has provided proof that Eala's success is resonating well beyond home. Asked about the Filipino support she has received in Australia, she said the welcome during this year's Kuyong Classic and the Australian Open felt markedly different from previous visits. "Yes, it was amazing. It's been amazing," Eala said. "In this part of the world, there are a lot of Filipinos, I know. But the turnout this year has grown significantly, I would say, from the past year." For Eala, the difference is not just in numbers but in atmosphere. She described a noticeable shift in energy around her matches as more Filipino fans filled the stands with flags and cheers. "I'm just so happy to see this environment and, people are excited and when I'm on court they're excited to see me," she said. "So, it's flattering and it makes me feel welcome for sure." A shared Filipino connection on tour. The Filipino presence in Melbourne around Eala has also extended beyond the stands. During the Kuyong Classic, she crossed paths with Lizette Cabrera, the Townsville-born Australian professional of Filipino descent who was attempting to qualify for the Australian Open main draw. Cabrera, a seasoned ITF and WTA campaigner with a career-high ranking inside the world's top 150 and multiple Grand Slam appearances, offered Eala a piece of advice that drew laughter. Her message was simple: to win the last point. Eala described the exchange as super funny, but also meaningful. She said she took the opportunity to ask Cabrera about her experiences on tour and appreciated the rare chance to speak openly with someone she admired. Reflecting on the moment, Eala said she felt thankful, noting that not everybody gets to talk up close with their idols. She also used her Melbourne media commitments to highlight the broader growth of tennis back home, particularly the upcoming WTA 125 tournament in Manila, the first WTA-level event to be held in the Philippines. "I'm so happy that it's finally coming together. It's really happening," she said. "It's been a dream to have a home tournament. I think it's a huge step for tennis in the Philippines and women's tennis especially." She added that the event is going to bring a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation for the girls back home, calling it a big step in the right direction beyond rankings and results. Eala's comments revealed a mindset that has carried her from regional success to the sport's biggest stages. Whether discussing jet lag, the reality is that you just have to deal with it. You'll get sleep when you can. Or the growing crowd support in Australia, she consistently balanced professionalism with perspective. When she stepped onto the court for her first-round match at the Australian Open, the support she spoke about was no longer theoretical. Filipino flags were visible in the stands, and familiar voices followed her through points and changeovers at Melbourne Park. For a player making her main draw debut, it marked how far her journey has come. In Melbourne, Eala is no longer competing quietly on the margins. She has played with a community behind her, and she knows it.